Gemini air sign, welcome to SGO Spiritual Guidance Night. We're going to see what message come out for you. You may not resonate with these messages. These messages may be referencing to the past, current, present, excuse me, or what is to come. For those of you who are new to SGO Spiritual Guidance Night, welcome. As you can see, this is a new channel, so make sure that you subscribe so that you can be a part of the success and growth of this channel. Thank you. For those of you who have already subscribed, welcome back to Spiritual Guidance Night. May you find the clarity, confirmation, understanding that you seek or need. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Most High, thank you so much for blessing me with the gift of intuition as an intuitive reader. Allow this reading to bring clarity, confirmation, understanding for Gemini air sign. Thank you. All right, let's see what messages come out for you. What messages do you have for Gemini at this time? What messages? We have pensive here. All right, this is definitely Two of Wands energy, the involvement of others, engaging with others, reflecting, very deep thinking. It's not giving me the Two of Swords because it doesn't feel like you're indecisive. It feels more so of passion stemming to this, really taking things serious at this moment. Why is this bent? Goodness gracious. And that is so, this stems from this pensive energy of sadness, but I'm really feeling like there can be a stem of depression, but it's really more so of acknowledging a sense of sadness. And it's more so in the mind, and then there's a reaction of feeling it in the body. But it's like, is it really your energy? Are you feeling this from the people around you? You may be having people that are grieving at this time, and you're being strong at this time. And there's a moment of being still, and then it hits you. Sometimes depression is not noticeable, Gemini, until you're in the moment of stillness. And then you take the moment to feel what it is that you're feeling and navigating exactly what the root of why you're feeling what you're feeling. Melancholic. Feeling and expressing pensive sadness. And here we have pensive and pertaining to emotion, reflecting in a deep, serious thought. So this is Two of Swords energy. But there's a need of taking action. That's why I said Two of Wands as well. We have selfish here. It's okay for you to schedule out time to focus on your well-being, Scorpio. It's okay. If you're not ready to make changes, acknowledging that is a big deal. And then figuring out why you don't want to make changes. Reflect on what is around me, or why am I thinking in this low vibrational energy of sadness? Sometimes it could be disappointment, and sometimes we could be so caught up in disappointment that communicating with others, they can identify and say, yo, Gemini, you're depressed. And it's like, no, I'm not depressed. And it's giving me, how dare you think that I'm depressed when I'm not giving any action that I'm depressed. But sadness feeds depression. And not all of you may not feel like this, but you may be having someone that you're pulling their energy. Doesn't necessarily mean that is you. But if this is an energy that's coming in, it's kind of like prepare yourself for a hit. You have the King of Swords here. Masculine energy, not wanting to face what is being. This is the King of Wands. King of Wands is my boundaries, and this is a Three of Cups in reverse. This is having a boundary that's set where you're unapproachable, where you're not allowing yourself to hear other people's opinions about a situation or circumstance. For the most part, opinions of what they see is going on with you. Everyone doesn't feel like that. Everyone's not in low vibrational energy, but I feel like these vibrational energies are behind the scenes, more so in the front. We have the Five of Wands here in reverse. Five still with change. There's a sense of worried about when's the next argument? When is things going to fall apart? It's kind of like already calling in things that are not even happening at this moment. A moment of boredom can cause you to feel sad. And that's not even the true state of how you feel. You're bored. And you have to acknowledge, you have to tell the emotion of sadness to go. And then figure out, why are you bored? Is it because your boundaries are not being respected? So you take the high route of your own train of thought and not allowing anyone to participate in your energy at this time because you don't want to be competitive. You don't want to explain. You don't want anyone to tell you how you feel. Gemini, your house deals with communication, so communication should not be a problem with you. The problem is of what you don't want people to pay attention to. It's giving me the energy of, don't tell me about myself unless you can reflect about you, and then let's come to an agreement of understanding. Tell me about this King of Swords. The Four of Wands. Okay. This could be dealing with family, people that are close to you, right? That can sense when something's wrong, can sense when you're getting ready to distance yourself. It does look like a playful energy in some type of way, but I feel like sometimes you don't want to play. I feel like when you're being serious, people think that you're playing, and then when you're playing, you're serious. Does that make sense? It's like when you're serious, people are not taking you serious, but when people think that you're not serious, you're being serious, if that makes sense. The motivation here is to keep trying when you are disappointed. Just how people don't give up on you, you're not allowed to give up on others. You do have the decision of who you want in your journey at this time. Your cycle of a day, your cycle of a week, your cycle of the whole month. Creating is not easy. The problem at hand, your communication is creating the Three of Swords. And sometimes it does not have to happen. So you have to figure out how you're going to master how you feel when you get disappointed, of being told how you feel or how you think or how you have to go toward things. Because I feel like this Three of Swords is not intentional. You just keep calling it in. No one wants to hear the truth. It has to go both ways. It's like, let me make sure I'm saying this word correctly. Gemini. I believe it's melancholic. Feeling of. I just want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. Melancholic. I was saying it so wrong. And these are coming together. So if you find yourself in deep thought, please try to understand why you're in a deep thought. Because being in a deep thought can definitely make you feel sad when you could be bored. Okay. Depression is definitely a trickster, especially when you isolate yourself. Because selfish can let me know, because this is action. All right. When you remove yourself, and then the moment when you're realizing that it's you and yourself, of feeling bored and being confused and thinking that you should be feeling sad when in reality you're just bored. What are the messages? And it's not bored like, oh, Gemini, you're a boring person. It's just more so you have to step back into being independent in your own energy instead of harnessing other people's energy, of needing to find a way to be entertained. It's a very hyper energy. Okay. What other messages do you have for Gemini air energy? I'm just delivering the message. Believe me, I'm like, what in the heck? Call to action. It says take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. I told you. I told you. Needing to navigate your own independence. And then when you have those bored moments of being independent in those bored moments, and not allowing depression to confuse you to making you think that you're sad, because we don't want to feed depression. We have teacher awakens, and it came in reverse. So being biased, right, to your own self, of not wanting to change the scenario, not wanting to change what's within. It's like there's a reserved spot when you get into this deep thinking, and then you're like, nobody cares. Why am I by myself? It's because you have chose to isolate yourself. It's not selfish, but it's selfish when you're not acknowledging the principle on how you got into that place. Did you remove yourself from a situation because it was one-sided? Or did you remove yourself because you were no longer being entertained because of boredom? And then you face boredom, and then you get in this deep thought of boredom, and then you convince yourself that you're sad, and then sad feeds depression. And you're not communicating that. The only thing that's communicating is selfish, which is isolation. Prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven and ask, and you shall receive. You're giving too much of yourself, where you're unable to see. The moment that you get bored, that's the moment to be open and to embrace grace. so that you can see how blessed and highly favored you are, Gemini. What I love about Geminis is that fact that you can touch every human being in a way to where it not only just brings life, it activates the lotus within your connections, right? Goddess Oracle for Gemini air sign. A leap of faith. Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. And with call to action. It's not selfish. Communicate, Gemini. All right? Don't just ghost yourself. Communicate. It's not, this is boring or you're boring, and then you isolate yourself for not being considerate of others, people's journey of a day. Right? We have to start delegating that communication we're talking about. Ask others, right? Including self. This is Green Torah, the Goddess Oracle. It says, ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. There is no wrong when it comes to surrender, to openness, because this teacher awakening is in reverse, meaning there's a sense of bias of one-sided. No, it's my way or the highway. No, this is what it is. Communicate what people can't see. Communicate what people can't feel. Because if you're not the one that is experiencing certain low vibrational energies, right, that makes people think that you're being self-centered or selfish, if it's the opposite around, because we have the King of Swords, right? Very unapproachable. Gemini, maybe we can't talk to you right now because you're showing that you don't want to be bothered, right? Cutting energies off like that you have to be mindful how detrimental that can be on other people. Some people are not in the King of Swords like you are. It takes strength and stamina to even get into that status, right? So this lets me know that you don't play around when you don't play around, or when you don't want to play around, or when you're serious. But this teacher of awakening is just, that's the only energy that I'm not liking. But this start delegating, confirming here, it's like, it's not just one way or the highway. All right. Gemini, there's people praying for you. Or you're praying for people. Very caring. All right. You can choose. It's peace and bodies of water. Okay. You may be feeling emotions because you have a water energy somewhere in your chart. And we have peace here. Calmer waters. Right? That's how it seems on the outside. But you have to communicate what's going on in the inside. All right? Overall direction for Gemini air sign. Overall direction for Gemini air sign. Expect a message. The Empress deals with expression, earth energy. It's time for you to be kind to yourself. It's time for you to be kind to others. Gemini. Whether you want to communicate that or not. All right. Don't forget, love is kind, love is gentle, and that is you and I.